So let's have a look at this. Okay, rather than me sitting here talking about, let's look at ThingWorx Navigate. Okay, so the idea is that I access Navigate in the same way that I would access Windchill through my browser. Okay, so I am logged in here as Pat. So I already have the session open. So Pat is the administrator. He's in the administrators group. You can see that here, and here are the various apps that are available. Okay, so what I will do first of all is configure how I want people to view this. So I might say, um, let's edit the collection. So a little bit of admin work here. So I can say that I've got these different groups or roles, as we call them. So I might say in engineering, engineering can see all of the apps in the task section. I can say, what they should search on, should they use a search filter, all those kinds of things. Okay. Whereas someone in purchasing sees something different. Okay, so they can see the drawing and parts list app. Someone in manufacturing can see all of the apps again. Okay, so the idea is that I can go in as the administrator and very easily tailor both what users see, but then also what they see inside of that. So if I go to my parts list, for example, again, I can say for a manufacturing engineer, these are the attributes that they will see in that parts list. This is whether you show drawings or not and what formats they can download. Okay, whereas someone in purchasing might see a different bunch of things there. So it's very quick and easy to tailor as administrator for all of your different groups of users that you have inside the system. Okay, so let's just jump out now and log in as a different user so we can see what we're going to do there. Oh, let me just go back to my other window. So I'll just close that down, and we're going to go in now as a different user. I'm going to go in as Mike, who's who's our manufacturing engineer. Okay, so when Mike logs in, I can see it tells me up the top there, I'm part of manufacturing. There's my username. You can see I don't have the admin rights to tailor this stuff, and I see only the apps that I was allowed to see as part of the manufacturing. Okay, so maybe it's a case of I want to go in and, pardon me, I want to go in and look for a structure. Okay, so I can go to my view part structure and I can run a search to see what I'm after. I can see any recently viewed things there. I'll just run a search based on a partial part number, and it comes back with all of these items. Okay, so this is a live view of the information in Windchill. What I see here is controlled by my Windchill access, right? So I can only see release stuff as a part of manufacturing. Okay, so I can go into this particular item to view its structure, and I've got some information here. Okay, so I've got a product structure shown here. I've got a viewable using the Creo View 3D View widget. Okay, so I've got my visualization that Windchill generates for me automatically, so I can pick on items and see them where they go. Okay, so it highlights them in the structure. I get details on that item shown up the top here, so I can quickly jump through this and understand what I'm looking at. Okay, I can jump around between different views of the model. Okay, oops, because I had the part select, it actually zoomed in on the part. Okay, I can go to my top view, my side view. Okay, jump out. If I actually select on the that item, let's say, and go to a view, I can actually zoom in on that, right, to see that better. I've got a bunch of different tools there for viewing. I can also, if I zoom back out, I can also choose to maybe manipulate this thing. Okay, so I'm interested in this particular this toe here. Okay, I can maybe move that around. Oops, let's pull it out. I can see it better. I can start to do a little bit of sort of understanding of what's happening inside that. All right, maybe I'll just isolate that so I can show everything. I just show that by itself. Okay, so I can go and do a quick query and understand this better. So from within that part, you can see I've also got the option if I want to go to that inside Windchill. Okay, so I don't have to use the Navigate UI. I can, open that up, and it takes me straight to that object inside Windchill where I've got, the full functionality of Windchill that I'm allowed to have based on my user. Okay, so go to the structure view there and do all that stuff that Windchill users would be familiar with. Okay, so Windchill is just a click away, right? But I've got access to all of these other apps here as well. So while I'm working with that, I can go and maybe look at the parts list. Okay, you can see here's my parts list. When I scroll through that parts list, it's showing me that I've actually got some drawings that exist, not for everything inside this. There are some drawings for these two items. So I've actually got a direct link in there because again, we chose to show that a direct link into the PDF of that drawing. Okay, so that's my PDF viewable that was generated by Windchill, just a click away. I'm looking at that parts list. Okay, so I can very quickly jump through and see what's happening inside there. So maybe I want to look at something else. Okay, so let's go back here, and maybe we'll view a part structure again, and I'm looking for a machined part. Okay, so I can just do again a bit of a keyword search there. Here's my spindle part, the released version of that. So I can go and look at this item. Okay, now one of the nice things about all of this is also supports my model-based definition. Okay, so I can see my different states here. Let me just that out. So if you are using MBD inside Creo model-based definition, then that information gets supported right through to ThingWorx Navigate view. So I can go and call up the MBD view states to see that. Okay, so that information is stored there and viewable in this way. Now, if you need to see it in more detail, again, I could launch Creo View if I've been given the ability to access that. So I can launch the viewable. It's just launched on my other screen, so I'll just log on. Yeah, bring it across. Okay, so there it is in Creo View. So there is my same states that I can look at in more detail if I need to get in, take measurements or do other things I need to do. Okay. So it provides that very quick way to launch into that content that's in Windchill. The beauty of that is we're looking at the live data. We're not exporting out, having to keep it in sync, all that kind of stuff. We're just working with the live data. Okay, so that's a bit of a look at view there. All right, contribute. Okay, so on the contribute side of things, so this is another app that's designed for our non-expert users. Okay, so you might have people that need to participate in process information. Okay, so there are a couple of out-of-the-box apps available with Navigate Contribute. One to work with change information, change requests and approvals and things like that as part of your change process. And we can also log problem reports inside Navigate as well. Okay, so our digital change review, again, as I said, we can have all of our our change review, change requests that we're running, our change review board processes you might run inside Windchill. We can have users who might need to be involved in that process. They can see and view and participate in that process through the Navigate app. Okay, and similarly, reporting a problem. Okay, so I can launch the report a problem app, which basically creates a problem report object inside Windchill. Okay, so I can choose where that context goes. I can fill in some information, add some attachments, and kick off that process through a Navigate app rather than having to log into Windchill. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So let's go back to Navigate, and I will log off as Mike. Go back in this time as Pat. Okay, so Pat is our project manager, also administrator. So if we come down here to our tasks and report a problem, this is our change management apps, again, out of the box apps. All right, so if we go to our tasks, so when I launch the tasks apps here, I am seeing all of the change tasks. At this stage, I'm only looking at the potential accepted ones. I could also turn on the completed ones. So here are the change review board tasks that are being run inside Windchill that I'm a part of that process. Okay, so we can see how things are going in terms of responses for that, where their state is, where they're related to. Okay, if I need to, I could come in here, and maybe I could reassign my particular task for this one to somebody else. Okay, so I can go and search for that other user, give a reason, and reassign that task off to them. Want to go and see the details of that? I can go in here, and I can see all of that information that is, again, live information that's coming from Windchill. Okay, so I can see the description, So again, it's pulling through all of the the rich text formatted stuff that came in recently in Windchill for change in Windchill 12. Okay, so it's just reading that information live. I can see all of my attributes and everything else about that process. I can see a current progress state of who's approved it, what tasks are pending. I can scroll down here to see more detail, or if I want to, I can run across the top here. So I can see all of the affected items. And again, I can then go into to view those items here. Any attachments that might have been put in as part of the change. So we can see that someone attached in the PDF document here of our seat that we need to do some work on. I can see the activity summary. Okay, so who's currently commented what they've put in, all live information from Windchill. So once I've reviewed all of that, if I'm happy with all of that, I can then go up here and say, do I want to approve or reject that, or maybe do some other, send it back for some other work. Okay. A new one that's come in just recently with Navigate 9.3 that just got released recently is now also we support digital signatures inside the Navigate app. So when I approve that, I have to re-log in. So that gives me my digital signature login as a record, which is required for certain industries like medical and defense industries. Okay. And similarly, I could report a problem as well. So I can log a problem report in here. So I can type in a description of what's going on, give it a category, report say who requested that, add any attachments, any photos, PDFs, whatever that might have been sent in, and log that in the system. And that will kick off the problem report workflow inside Windchill that then gets analyzed by somebody and then we work out what we're doing. Okay. That's a quick look at some of the change things there. Okay. The last thing I'll show while I'm inside here is some custom apps, and I'll talk about these in a minute. But we have other options. Actually, sorry, I realized I forgot to show this one earlier. As Mike was our purchasing person, Phil, we might need to download a bunch of drawings to send out. Okay, so I could launch the download drawing bundle app. The idea of this is I am searching for, maybe I've got an order that's come through. Okay, so there's a bunch of part numbers here that we want to look for. So I can just maybe bring them in, generate that. So Navigate will then search through Windchill for all of those items. It will show me the details of each of those. Okay, so we've got all of them. It will tell me that I've searched for 4 parts. 4 of them have drawings. Okay, any that it couldn't find because maybe they don't exist, I've got a wrong part number. I've got the link there to open up each of those drawings if I need to check them. Okay, just to make sure everything's hunky-dory there. And I can go and download that as a zip file to then pass that on with our order, whatever it might be. Okay, so very quick for someone to come in here and grab a list of information in formats that they might need. All right. So sorry, coming back to our other custom apps. So this is an out-of-the-box app, but then we can have custom apps that you can build inside Navigate as well. So as Pat, our program manager, might be interested in what's happening with all the changes that are working. So we've built, in this case, a custom dashboard to show the status of all of our changes. Okay, so we can filter that by products, see how many have been resolved, how many in implementation stage, and scroll down and see where they're all at, how long we've taken, what the deadline is, all of that information. Okay, so we can build these kinds of dashboards and metrics to show in Navigate, so that our external, non-expert users who might need to, keep an eye on what's happening inside Windchill, they can use them from within there. Okay, these dashboards and mashups, we can actually even also embed them inside Windchill as well if it's for a user who works inside.